going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, over on Reddit, things have been going pretty smooth when it comes down to Arc Raiders. I gotta be real with you guys, I'm shocked at how positive the overall community has been. But there's been some waves going on right now of a lot of players starting to really crap on anybody who partakes in PvP within the overall Arc Raiders experience. More specifically, those who roleplay and, backstab and do wild things to add to the overall nature of the game. Even going as far as calling those players psychotic in real life, and anybody who, does stuff like that in Arc Raiders is a true representation of how they are in the real world, ladies and gentlemen. Oh gosh, we have a lot of stuff to go ahead and discuss in today's video. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go and dive on deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget subscribing to that bell. Post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and the second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you're interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, this weekend, I am going to be streaming on Sunday, a little rare stream. So if you guys are interested, you can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and discuss, let me showcase to you guys the post by David here. He said, I think Ko was right when he says people's behaviors in-game is a reflection on them in real life. And I'm going to stay quiet just for a second here. I'm going to showcase the video footage this individual put up on Reddit, and then we'll discuss afterwards.
As I was already started, I was looking for a battery.
Okay, cool.
Friendly.
Move.
Don't shoot!
Nobody's shooting. Did you guys kill the Bastion?
No, we didn't. It's still here. Do you need some help with that? Do you need some help killing the Bastion?
Hey, team up!
Okay, we'll help you.
Sure.
It's alive. You guys suck.
So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. You got to see the full clip for yourselves, and don't get me wrong, that was pretty dang scummy, right? I think we can all agree with that. And I'm not trying to defend, doing this in-game, because I don't do it either, Usually I try to find PvP, and if a lot of people don't want to PvP, I don't usually bother. It's kind of boring if nobody's really fighting back, I like to chase down flares if people are already in combat. Even in the end of this footage, you'll see me come up on two raiders, one who's getting attacked by extraction, and instead of taking them both down, I decided to take down the person who initiated the fight, get him out of there, and then, heal up and extract with the safe person. That's just how I rock and roll. But there's not a single time in my whole experience here where I thought to myself, this person betrayed me. They must be an absolutely horrific person IRL. And that is what a lot of people are kind of falling back on now. I get it. A lot of people want PvP to be more focused in this game. A lot of people want more people to be friendly. So the next best, insult to throw out there to people to try to force them into this mentality is calling them crazy for doing such a thing, for betraying, for saying you're friendly and then shooting them in the back, or getting into a fight with Arc and then shooting the opponent while they're getting gunned down by Arc. People are trying to claim that this behavior is psychotic. And of course, if you guys want to see with your own eyes, I'll leave a link to this overall post down in the description of this video. It seems like the Reddit mods are, on duty now, and they're starting to, scrap a lot of the comments who are getting feisty. But man, oh man, if there's still some there, you'll be able to see with your own eyes. And when I first saw this post, when it just came on up, it was just an all-out war going on in the comment section, with players pretty much downvoting anyone who is trying to say it's a game, it's not real, this isn't real life, that has nothing to do with that. And then, of course, the other people claiming, you're wrong, you're a psycho, you have mental issues if you want to do anything like this. Guys, as I stated before, I have to say it again, I get it. And I know people are going to come at me in the comment section saying, oh, you probably do this too, you probably back. I do not. The only time I would ever, try to do something of this sort is if I'm with 2 to 3 other people and someone betrays, and then I'll go ahead and betray myself, and then it might turn out into all-out war. But, if we already talked it out, and it's not just shoot on, sight, and we actually talked and we discussed and we were friendly, I'm more than likely not going to shoot you. I'm going to be, very cautious of my surroundings, as you should, because situations like that will happen if you're not cautious, but I'll still be friendly. But I can't accept the fact that people genuinely think that you are psychotic for role-playing in a game that takes place in a wasteland where our whole population has been torn to shreds, and we're coming above ground as raiders to loot and try to scavenge and make cash and make money and thrive for ourselves. I mean, what? Guys, it's a video game. It's a game. It has nothing to do with how someone would act in real life. Let me ask you something. Does someone who run around in GTA casually just, hitting a few pedestrians, shooting up a bunch of people in PvP, and just being toxic? Shoot, even the ones who love to get high stars in GTA and have a bunch of cops chasing them and getting into shootouts and running from the police, are they extra toxic IRL? I don't think so. I know people who just hop on GTA to casually ride around, do stupid stuff for a half an hour, and then hop offline, and they're perfectly normal people. What about poker, for example? The whole game of poker is bluffing, having a poker face, being able to basically manipulate your opponents. Does that mean every person who's good at poker is a horrible person IRL? What about like Mario Kart, for example? It's a kid's game. Mario Kart is basically a kid's game. Not for everyone. I still love Mario Kart, but I'm just saying it's made for everyone, including children. And the whole idea of the game is backstabbing everybody who's in the lobby with you. Mario Kart and Mario Party has caused major problems in a lot of friendships over these years because, again, the game is about betraying. It's about backstabbing everybody and getting the benefit for yourself when the opportunity shows itself. But does that mean that every person who takes advantage of what the game is supposed to be, how the developers designed it, what their intents were, does that mean if you actually play the game that the devs made for you, you are a bad person IRL? What about actors or actresses, right? A lot of people are very talented with playing roles, and a lot of people get pissed off at, mean characters and, the villains, saying, oh, they're such horrible people. But if you're feeling that way, that means that that person is a fantastic actor or actress because they are doing their job perfectly and they're making you hate the villain. If you didn't feel any emotion towards that villain, that means they're not doing a good job. But again, does that mean that they're horrible people IRL? Does that mean since they can play roles and be able to, basically, you could call them fake. A lot of actors and actresses can be fake. But does that mean that they're all awful IRL? What about people who enjoy playing Payday? Does that mean that you're going to rob a bank in real life because you enjoy playing a bunch of Payday and you enjoy, robbing banks in that game? And guys, the best of them all, GTA RP. For those who don't know, GTA on PC isn't really popping online because of cheaters, but what's really popping is GTA Roleplay. It was actually so popping that Rockstar hired, I don't know if they hired the whole team who put together GTA Roleplay, but they hired a decent portion of those individuals to work on GTA 6. That is how popular GTA Roleplay is. Does that mean that you're going in as a drug dealer? That means that you're horrible IRL? If you're going in and you're now a gang member in the roleplay server, that means you're horrible IRL. If you go in and now you're out of nowhere a stripper, does that mean you're horrible IRL? It's role playing, guys. This isn't some magical concept. We are playing games. The whole purpose of playing a game is to take you out of the real world and also let you mess around and do stupid stuff that you would never do. That's the whole purpose of GTA. GTA allows you to do stuff that you would never consider IRL. Running away from cops, getting 5 stars, and getting into shootouts with the police. Just massacring a whole lobby. All these wild things. But nobody who's doing that is going to do that in real life. Yeah, you might have 1 or 2 people who actually are psychotic. They actually have problems. And they might do such a thing. But that doesn't mean that every single person who loads up these games are coming in with horrible intents when they hop off and go back into the real world. People can differentiate between a digital toy and the real world. There's definitely a difference. And the whole fun of an extraction shooter are those moments. Yes, they will piss you off. They will really piss you off. But I guarantee, I said it in my previous video, I guarantee when that happened, they hopped right back into another round and they did not hop off the game. Because guess what? As much as it makes you angry, that is the soul and heart of an extraction shooter. Let me tell you something. If everybody just came in and only did PvP, that's it. They shot on sight, it was PvP only, you would get bored. If everybody came in and only did PvE, and that's it, nobody shot anybody, and everybody was just there to shoot arc, you would get bored. What makes extraction shooters so fun is the varied gameplay The varied moments that you get every single time you load up this game, every single time you hop into a raid, something new will happen. And you can get pissed off at people who do this stuff all the time. But I'm going to be real. As much as they annoy me too, they are one of the main reasons why this game is fun. Every single time I talk to someone, like I said, I don't really backstab. I get into so many situations. Actually, I don't know if I still have the footage. Actually, I do. Let me shut up for a second. I'm just going to showcase this to you guys so you could see. You know, again, I don't shoot people if they want to be friendly. But sometimes you just got to keep your guard up.
Yo. Hey, hello. Trying to leave. I'm trying to leave. Let's get lit. Okay, good vibes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be honest with you guys. I played this very poorly. You know, I holstered my weapon. I ran out in the open while he still had his gun out, so on and so forth. I wasn't even using my mic. I was just using, you know, the emote wheel. But this is the vibes of the game. You never know what is going to happen. Absolutely never. If anything, extraction shooters pull a lot of aspects from poker, because that's what it's all about, having a poker face in a lot of these scenarios. Extraction shooters are almost a reading game, reading how people act, how they talk, you know, what they do, how they handle certain scenarios. If you guys actually check out my streams while I'm going ahead and playing Arc Raiders, you guys know I'm constantly talking about it. If I'm in a room and I'm talking to someone, I talk to chat all the time saying, this guy might seem suspicious, or, no, this guy actually seems normal. And I let you guys in the chat, you know, all chat it up too. And you guys are saying, you know, this is definitely sus, this guy. And that's the fun of it, though. Everybody has a different opinion on what others are going to do. And that adds to the tension of extraction shooters. And as I was stating before I showed you guys, you know, the previous clip, without that tension, extraction shooters will be pointless. If people only went in for PvP, you already know what you're expecting. If people only went in for PvE, and that's the only thing the game is about, you already know what you're expecting. The fact that players can do this, and they can role play, and they can do different roles, they can be, you know, they can come in gunslinging and everything, they can come in and betray players. Maybe they're not as confident in gunfights, but they know that, you know, someone just came out of a high tier loot area, so I befriend them, shoot them in the back of the head. At the end of the day, it's your fault for trusting that individual. If I died in that gunfight I showed you guys earlier, I would not be mad. I'm never mad. You guys can see me on stream all the time. People betray me plenty of times. And over half the time, I always say, good play. You want to know why I say good play? Because I read them wrong. This is almost like a game of poker. And if you can't read your opponents, they outplayed you. It's not just gun skill, it's also reading one another. And I'm telling you, that is, for me at least, that is the addicting factor, because you never know what is going to be presented to you from a match-to-match moment. And funny enough, while I was recording this video, literally right now, I went on Reddit and I saw a post that I think summarizes, you know, this video perfectly, that I'm going to read off to you guys. This post is by JbowenDaMan, and it says, as a DayZ player having a great time playing Ark, the amount of people who think they can don't shoot their way out of a keycard room is insane. I very rarely kill on sight. If I bump into people traveling from place to place, I usually say a little hello on VoIP and leave them be. But in high-end loot areas, I'm not that kind of sucker to let you run out with all the loot just because you said don't shoot. Twice yesterday, 2 separate players got super mad at me for killing them. One in the control tower, and the other underground of Blue Gate, and they were both stacked. They emote, don't shoot. I VoIP, I'm not friendly. They get down and start calling me all kind of names. The don't shoot emote is not a law that allows you to pacifist all the top tier loot off the map early. Fight for it if you want to keep it. And not just for high loot areas, this goes for the game in general. Just because you say don't shoot means that your opponent is not going to shoot you, and you can't get mad because they do such. There's no laws above ground here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this game is all about. Guess what? This isn't the real world. This isn't like you're stepping out your house right now and going out into public and you have to follow all the rules. No, this is a game. It's a game taking place in a universe, a fictional universe that we are partaking in. And if players want to be savages on the top ground, they can do such. If players want to get your loot because they know you have the best stuff, they don't have to let you go. They can take it if they want. Just because you said don't shoot or you went on VoIP and said, hey, I'm friendly, doesn't mean that's how the situation is going to go down. And yes, I said it in previous videos, if you want to up the rate of being able to have more friendly encounters, speak out, talk. But it's not going to guarantee you that every person's going to be that way. It might give you a 70-80% success rate of not getting PvP, but there's still going to be that 20, 30, maybe even 40% chance that those players are going to say, screw that, I want what he has. He's leaving a high loot area. I'm getting there late. I'm not going to get anything. I need to get off him. Oh, he went into a key room. I want that stuff. Or, I just want a PvP. I don't care what anybody says. I'm shooting them. Like, you can't dictate how players are going to play. And I'm telling you right now, they're not psychotic because they want to role play differently in the game, and they're not playing it the way that you want them to play it. That does not mean that they're psychos, they're killers IRL, they're going to backstab you IRL, they're horrible people in real life. Has nothing to do with that whatsoever. All I can tell you guys is never let your guard down. If the apocalypse happened right now, if nukes went off, or zombies took over, some random event, whatever it could be, where right now, again, in real life, all of us are in survival mode, do you genuinely think that every time you leave the house, or leave wherever you're at, man, in an event like that, do you genuinely think that every person you come across is going to be as friendly as you? Do you seriously think that you can kill them with kindness in a world with no laws? No, it's not going to happen. I guarantee you would probably keep your morals and you would be respectful. That's how I would be, I wouldn't want to, cause harm unless harm is being caused to others or, anything in that scenario. But that doesn't mean I'm letting my guard down. That doesn't mean I'm going to trust every person who says, hey, I'm friendly, I'm a good guy. How many movies and TV shows have we seen of these scenarios where there are people like that and then they end up backstabbing? In these situations, it's normal. So no, just because they do it in a apocalyptic video game does not mean that when they go out into the real world where there's no apocalypse going on, there's no zombie hordes kicking on in, there's no anything going on, that doesn't mean they're going to translate that game sense into real life. Guys, we have to separate gaming from real actions, okay? Again, as I stated, some people might be crazy enough, but that doesn't speak for everyone. It does not. And, calling people names and calling them basically psychotic because they're playing, again, the game in a way that you don't agree with does not mean that they are actually such. And you shouldn't try to bully individuals into playing the way that you want to play by using those terms. It's a part of the game. You live and you learn, and hopefully it'll make you more aware the next time. And when you go about, seeing people and greeting with people and befriending people, you got to be more on your toes, because that is what adds the tension. If every person you came across was friendly and you never had to worry about someone shooting in the back of the head, there will be no tensions running around this map. But when you befriend people, the tensions come from knowing that they could shoot you. There's no protection right now. They could put a bullet right in the back of your head whenever they want. Whenever you are in a battle with an arc, they could shoot you. Whenever, anything happens, they can shoot you. And that will always keep you on your toes, and it will always make you look around and be, hesitant of a lot of scenarios. But that is the fun and the adrenaline factor of this game. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget subscribing to that bell. Post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I'll link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.